Hello friends, welcome to this series of learning Python. My name is Kapil Shukla. In the last session, we covered some basic information and looked at what is Python, why should we learn Python, and many domains where Python is extremely useful. We also covered how you can run Python programs and how Python internally runs your program. Then we looked at how to install Python and PyCharm and some other resources which can be useful during this course. If you have not seen previous video, I strongly suggest that you watch it before starting this video. In today's session, we will be setting some foundation for the rest of the course. I know some of you want to jump right into the coding, and I'm sorry, but this session will give us the right foundation to begin the coding exercise. I promise from the next session, we will start writing Python code. Now let's see what are our objectives of this session. We'll be covering what are Python objects. We'll understand Python application hierarchy. Then we'll look at what is the difference between a Python statement and expression. What are Python's core data types? What are variables and objects in Python and how to create them? Then we will understand dynamic typing in Python, and this is very interesting aspect of Python, which makes it unique from many other high-level programming languages. After this, we will cover difference between mutable and immutable objects, and finally understand the shared reference concept in Python. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. Programming is all about processing some information for desired results to solve a particular problem. Now, this information which you are processing is the data. This data can come in any shape and size, and the processing you do on this data is called operation. In Python, this data takes the form of an object. Let's say you're trying to add two numbers, example 50 plus 100. So these two numbers are your data, and addition is the operation you are trying to perform on this data. In Python, you can either use built-in objects to store data or create your own object. This is something we will look in detail a bit later in the course. Everything in Python takes the form of an object, be it the data you're processing or files or other modules. Even numbers or strings, it's all data. Each of these objects, when come into existence, is allocated a memory. And each of these objects has an associated information. This information could be the object value or object attributes. Each of these objects will support some operation. For example, a number object will support addition, subtraction, or multiplication. As we go along, we will explore this concept in greater detail. First, let's understand the hierarchy of Python application. A typical Python application is made up of one or more modules. Python modules then contain Python statements, and these statements are made up of expressions. These expressions are the instructions which create and process objects. Let's move to next slide to understand more about statements and expressions. A Python program is made up of statements and expressions at a granular level. A statement is a complete line of code that performs some action, whereas expression is any section of the code that evaluates to a value. As a thumb rule, if you can print or assign the section of the code to a variable, it's an expression, otherwise it's a statement. These are some examples of expressions and statements. Don't worry if you do not understand these statements right away. Soon you will be an expert in this. As you can see, adding two numbers is an expression whose result can be assigned to another variable. Whereas if I can compare the two numbers for equality by using if keyword and double equal sign, it is a statement. I want to highlight an interesting point. A difference between Python 3 and earlier version of Python 2. Print is a function in Python 3, and we can use this function to print any value. We have used this function previously to print hello world. This is an expression in Python 3, as you can assign the result of calling this function to a variable. However, in Python 2, print is a statement, as it just prints whatever you ask it to print, but does not evaluate to anything. We have used this term variable a lot in here. Now let's see what is in variable in the next slide. So what is this variable which we kept referring to in the previous slide? In programming terms, variable is something which is used to hold the information, and this information can vary. This is the information which a program is processing to get the desired results. You can create a variable by using the assignment operator, that is equals to sign in Python. Variable is on the left of the assignment operator, and the information it is supposed to hold is on the right hand side. If you have any previous Java or C++ experience, you will notice that Python does not require you to define the type of the variable. That is, you do not have to tell what kind of data you will be storing in this variable, whether it will be numeric, textual, or even more complex. While naming variables in Python, you must follow some rules, and those are: variables names must start with a character or an underscore. You cannot use any reserved word like and, or, true, false, etc. And variable names are case sensitive, so be careful. Python takes an interesting twist to variable creation, and let's explore that in the next slide. Now let's see how objects and variables are created in Python. Any object in Python can be created by either using literal form or using an expression that evaluates to a specific object. For example, I can use literal numbers 5 or 3.14 or Google to create a numeric or textual object, also called string object. To create a string object, you will need to wrap the text around single or double quotes. Or I can use an expression such as str, which stands for string function, to create a similar string object. When Python encounters such an object for the first time, it allocates some memory and creates the object. Now, when you assign this object to a variable using assignment operator, what Python does differently to other programming languages is that it always stores the reference of that object and not its value. This is different from Java or C++, where variable holds the actual value. Now, if you want to refer back to the object, you can use the same reference variable in an expression to get the desired object. This is a very important point and fundamental difference between Python and other high-level languages. That reference variable does not store any value, it's just a reference to the object. Let me iterate one more time. A variable never has any type information, and the notion of the type lives with the object and not with the variables. Variables are generic in nature. They just refer to the object at a particular point in time. Let's see what is this object type in next slide. In the last slide, we referred that the type belongs to the object and not the variable, which means that each object in Python has type associated with it. Using this type information, Python knows what operation can or cannot be performed on the object. Example, number 5 is a numeric object, and when you add two numbers, Python knows how to handle this addition operation on two numeric objects. Python offers some core data types which comes built in with Python and ready for your use. These data types are numbers. This represents all numeric information. Strings. This represents all textual or alphanumeric information. Booleans. This is to decide on true and false information. List, tuples, dictionaries, files, and sets.
All other types we will explore in detail in coming sessions. Previously, we looked at what are Python core objects and how an object and variable are created in Python. Let's understand how is Python handling this dynamic typing, where the type information is not associated with the variable but the object. Python does not require to specify the type of the variable, as the type of information is determined at the time program is run and not at the time of the declaration. You're also not required to declare any variable ahead of their use. That is, you can declare your variable anywhere in the program. We have covered how the variable assignment worked previously. You can use the assignment operator, and on the right hand side of the assignment operator is the object which you want to refer to, and on the left hand is the variable. Now let's see how dynamic typing works and how Python handles it. If I write a statement like a is equal to 21, where I am creating a variable a and assigning the reference of an object 21, which is a numeric object, Python creates the object in memory and assigns a reference to the variable a. Now, if I assign the same variable to a string object like email, what Python really does is creates a string object in memory again and point my variable a to this new object. Now again, if I reassign the same variable to a floating point number, that is a number with digits after decimal point, Python will again create the object in memory, and this time it will point the variable to a to this new object, numeric object in memory. Some experienced programmer find it astonishing because if they try to do so in Java or C++, they will get an error. But this is where Python's real power is, in dynamic typing. This is very important topic to understand. One, everything is an object in Python. And second, variables are just reference to object, and they do not actually hold the value. As we move along in the course, these things will become more clear. Another concept which I want to make clear is of mutability versus immutability. It's somewhat similar to X-Men concept, and here we are talking if an object can change after it's created. Any object which cannot be changed after it's created is known as immutable, otherwise it's mutable. Number, strings, and tuples are mutable objects. Once I create a string object named John and assign it to a variable name, thereafter if I write name is equal to Jonathan, it does not mean that John has changed to Jonathan. What happens is a new string object Jonathan is created and variable name now refers to the object. If I try to change the immutable object, I will get an error. Let's not worry about the syntax how I'm changing this object for now, but if you try this on Python prompt, you will get an error. Let me show you. Now, let me start Python. Now I'm in the Python prompt and I will create a variable name and assign it to a string object John. Now if I try to change this string object with the syntax I'm getting an error. String object does not support item assignment. That is, I cannot change the string object. This will give an error as in-place changes are not allowed for immutable objects. However, if I took a slice of the existing object and join it with another string object, I can create a new object and refer back this object reference to my existing variable name. Let me show you how do I do this. Please don't worry if the syntax is confusing, as I will cover strings and their operations in detail in the coming lectures. This concept will become very clear to you. Other core object types such as list, dictionaries, and sets are mutable, and we will explore them in later sessions. As we look at these data types in great details in next sessions, the concept of mutability will become more clear to you. Let's move forward to our last concept of this session. I know it has been a long session, but we are finally at the last slide. This is about shared references. Simply put forward, when multiple variables point to the same object, it is a case of a shared reference. For example, if I created a variable a and assigned it to 10, and then created another variable b and assigned it to variable a, as variable a is just a reference to the numeric object 10, what Python will do is point both the variables to this numeric object. In Python, all assignments create and assign the reference to the name. Now, if I assign a to a string object, say spam, this has no effect on b, and b is still pointing to 10. But by doing so, Python will create the spam string object and a will point to this object. Things get interesting if the two variables are referring to the same object and that object happens to be of mutable type. So any change made to that object with one variable will reflect when you access the object via a second variable. If this was mouthful, don't worry, this will become crystal clear as we move along. And with that, we have finally come to the end of this session. Congratulations on completing this session. In our next session, we will start exploring the Python core object types and start writing code in Python.
If you are finding these videos helpful, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for new videos. If you have any suggestion or feedback, please let me know via your comments so I can enhance or improve on these videos. You can also share these videos with anyone who wants to learn Python. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.